I am Miss Harold, and today we'll be learning about piano and starting to learn various terms and vocabulary for this instrument, as well as um, starting to learn how to read notes and talking about finger placement and posture and lots of good stuff. So, the first thing we are going to get started with, I guess, is talking about just what everything is called on here. So we have lots of white keys, we have lots of black keys. The black keys tend to be accidentals in music, which means they're either sharps or flat notes. And the white keys tend to be natural notes, which we'll learn about more later. This piano is slightly smaller, it's just a keyboard, so it doesn't have 88 keys, but normally a piano has a total of 88 keys from top to bottom, and they run in sequences of 8 notes. So every 8 notes, the letter names of the notes repeat, which means that when you start at the bottom here, the bottommost note here on the piano, on this one, is an E, okay? So if you were to go up another 8 notes, that means the next key up, 8 notes from the bottom, would be another E. And the next note, 8 up from that, would also be another E, and so on and so forth, all the way up the scale. For our purposes, we only really need to worry about the first few octaves here for a little bit. When you get into more advanced music, then we'll start learning about the rest of the notes here on the further ends of the piano. But for now, we only really need to worry about the notes kind of right here in the middle. So right here in the very middle of the keyboard is middle C. 8 notes up from that is the C above middle C, and then 8 notes below that is the C below middle C. So as I said, the notes run in sequences of 8. So if you start on C, they go in alphabetical order, all the way up to G, and then they repeat. So it goes C, and then the next note up from that is going to be D, then E, then F, G, and then you repeat back to A again, okay? So there's A, B, and C, and that's a full octave. So if we were to do the next octave, it would be the same thing. So you would start on C, and then go up to D, then E, F, G, and remember when we hit G, you gotta start again. So then it goes back to A, B, and C. So now we have 2 octaves here. All right, So another important thing to know when you're first starting the piano is that the way that you hold your fingers and hold your body, it really has an effect on how well you play. So we're going to talk a little bit about finger placement. So for fingers, we want to make sure that whatever notes you have them placed on, your fingers should just be lightly resting on them, okay? So instead of kind of flat hands like this, we want our fingers to be curled up like this, and just our fingertips resting on the keys, okay? Something I like to offer students is that if you would like to think about holding a water balloon or just any sort of balloon or bubble kind of in your hand, so it's kind of like you're cupping a little bubble in your hand, and you turn it over and put it on the keys, okay? And so if you think about it that way, we want to make sure that we aren't popping the bubble, okay? So when we're playing, we can't let our wrists just fall up and down like this, because otherwise that bubble would get squished, right? We want the bubble to stay nice and tall and full of air. So we need our wrists and our fingertips always to be curled and lightly pressed on the keys like this, with our wrists up, okay? All right, so we're going to learn just a short little song today. Um, it is called Mary Had a Little Lamb, okay? So, we're going to start with our first 5 fingers on the keys C, so middle C, D, E, F, and G. So your thumb is going to rest slightly on middle C here, and your pinky is going to be on G, the G above middle C. So the sequence for this song, the notes that we are wanting to play in order will go E, D, C, D, E, E, E. All right, now you try. Then after that, we're going to go D, 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 E, G, G. Now you try that little section. Okay, good job. The next section is going to be E, D, C, D, E, 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 E. Okay, and let's try just that little bit there. Good job. And the very last part goes D, D, E, D, C. All right, so that's the whole melody for Mary Had a Little Lamb with just our note names. So we, in a normal lesson, I suppose I would probably practice that a little bit more with the student, and I would probably work on just matching the note names to the keys first before introducing written notation. And then I think maybe in the next lesson, or maybe in the second half of the first lesson, I might start introducing how to read music notation, notes, clefs, all of that. But I would want them to be familiar with the terms for everything on the piano and the names of the notes and just oral recognition before introducing the visual element of music. But yeah, so I hope this gives you an idea of what I would do for a lesson. And yeah, let me know. I've never done a tutorial like this before, so I apologize if I said way too many times or whatever. But yeah,